Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or hello and welcome if you are brand new here. My name is Chloe Swift. I'm a professional hairstylist and a hair care expert, and in today's video I'm using the brand new Dyson Coanda ×2, and we're going to be using just the Round Volumizing Brush attachment. I'm going to be showing you exactly how to use it to create a lovely bouncy blow dry kind of look in the comfort of your own home. Super excited to actually use this and do a full look myself on my own hair. I'll link my previous video below where I used this for the first time, but that is literally just my first impressions. I did a couple of sections. I'm actually really looking forward to doing a full look and using this all over my hair. Let's get into it. Actually, before we get straight into it with the brush, because I still think my hair is probably a little bit too wet to go in it with the brush. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just going to kind of take you much longer than you actually need. So I'm going to pop on the fast drying attachment first of all, and I'm just going to take out a little bit of the wetness. Now I've popped on my fast drying attachment. It's already changed the heat setting down to the medium heat, which is what I would have changed it to anyway. And then just going to press my on button, and then yeah, just take out just a little bit of this excess water from the hair. I feel like that's enough, just so that the hair is not dripping, soaking wet. We just want it to be at around that kind of 80% dryness. So you're only really working with like a 20% level of dampness. And then first section I'm just using my ears as kind of the leveling point, and I'm just going to take everything else up, pop that in a bun out of the way. Now the only product I am going to apply on camera today is the brand new Dyson multi-use styling spray. Before I just did that quick little pre-dry, I had already applied a leave-in conditioning spray and an oil, not the Dyson ones, because if you've watched my last video, I'm just practicing and just getting used to using the product on their own rather than combining them all together. I really want to see how rich and how almost effective each one is on their own. So yeah, I've done different hair care before, and now I'm just going to do this. I don't want to do much because if you've not watched my previous video, but yeah, these are effective, and apparently this can get a bit sticky if it's too much. So I think I'll literally just, for every section I do, I might just do like one spray and then do one spray. It does come out so fine, and then I'm literally just gonna brush each section through. Now I've popped my brush head back on, and actually you can see the Airwrap Coanda has already then popped it back up to high speed and high heat. So again, I'm literally just gonna leave it at that because that's what I would do anyway, just go on the highest heat when it's only 20% or even probably a bit less than now damp. And also just to show you the brush itself, if you haven't seen my other video where I've just kind of shown it off and shown you it for the first time, so it's got this nice little different end which kind of makes it a bit easier to hold. Bristles are really durable, but in saying that, they're still super flexible and they're super compact, and there's a lot more teeth to the brush, which means the more compact it is and the more teeth there is, you'll be able to get better tension on the hair. The better tension you can get on the hair means you'll get a smoother finish and a smoother result. So it's great for those of us with wavy hair, with curly hair, where you really need to stretch the hair out to really smooth it out, get rid of that frizz and that fluff. On my first sections, I'm gonna press on, brush is gonna be going, and actually I'm gonna start with these first ones. I'm gonna go in and do this technique where it's kind of, probably seen it already if you watch my videos. We're gonna wrap round once, release just a bit of that tension, and then we're gonna unhook. So I do like to do that technique with a round blow dry brush on these first sections, because what that really helps to do is it retains the length, and I'm not gonna bounce up and lose too much length on these longest, like underneath sections. going away from the face. So this side is turning backwards away. This side is turning backwards away. And honestly, guys, just look at that result. You can just see how much it's smoothed out my hair, the shine that it gives the hair. It's just so super easy. And even if we just look at the brush there, I think there is just one hair. So it's not this super tight tension either, where it's really pulling on your hair or pulling your hair out. It's the perfect tension for me and my hair. Even for those of you who have wavier hair than me, that have curlier and coarser hair than me, I think you're just absolutely gonna love this new brush head. And me personally, I already prefer this to the previous, the really large volumizing brush head that I had on my other Airwrap. I'm literally just going to take my neck section, I'm going to work up like probably 2 inches up, so maybe I'll go here. Your hairline kind of pushes out a bit more. I'll work 2 inches up and I'm going to repeat the same technique again. Did forget to do my styling spray there, so let me just do a quick little mist, because each section I am always going over it twice as well, just to make sure it's thoroughly dry. Let's have a look again how much hair is on my brush. A few more hairs this time, literally like 1, 2, 3. They're 2 really quite big chunky sections, so also that's why I'm passing over each one twice to make sure it's thoroughly dry and like it's had enough heat applied to it, because it's quite a lot of hair. And I'm just bringing everything forward, so if you look at me from the back, everything's just brought forward. Next section up, it is going to start changing, because now we do want to start incorporating a back section so that we don't have a flat back of the head. You're now going to go into like a horseshoe section, so it's around about like recession points, and naturally that section is going to start curving around your head. So you're going to have one back section. I'm going to take that one and do that first of all. I'm going to hold my Airwrap in my right hand, and then we're going to do kind of more of a voluminous cut. So we're holding the brush horizontally, we're pulling it up all the way up and getting that nice smoothing tension, and then I will wrap it all the way back down. I think that's how we'll do this back one. Then I'll just turn off my Airwrap for a moment. That's quite nice as well with this one, that you can literally just turn it off as and when in between. Obviously that's your cool shot button, that little small blue one there. You can absolutely use the cool shot button if you want to at this point. I might not, but only because I didn't do it on those previous sections. This would be a great point if you just want to hold it in there and then pop your finger on there, use the cool shot. Great chance to do that. I would definitely turn the Airwrap off at this point, just so then you've got like no pressure and you've got like space just to unhook and get the brush out. And also when you are wrapping it back down, don't do what I've just done. I did just have to like pause and kind of get myself out of a little bit of a fiddle there. So if you're gonna wrap down too much and right back down at the roots, because we've got a lot of these, you see like my shorter hairs there, my new hair growth, you don't want the shorter hairs just getting wrapped around and getting tangled in the brush. And because the brush is tighter, you've got more tension, there's a lot more bristles. I'm not gonna lie, it is gonna be quite easy if you're doing this technique to probably get it a little bit tangled. So don't wrap any more back up than probably like halfway, I would say, and then grab your hair there, grab the root, and you literally just want to not only just twist but pull. So like twist, pull, twist, pull. Then you can see that is a really, really lovely bouncy curl and bouncy result, but just please be careful doing that and wrapping all the way back up to the roots. I'll do the same with these two sections, kind of similar, to get more of that bouncy look, and then show you hopefully it's a bit more clearly with them at the sides. can see using the brush that way and using it horizontally and doing more of like a bouncy, voluminous curl, you get such a different result to then these kind of curls under here. But hopefully once we've dressed it all out, it's all gonna blend and it all makes sense. And also thoughts so far, guys, on the Dyson styling product. I mean, hopefully you can see my hair is so soft and silky, and there honestly is not any stickiness to this from how I'm using it. Dyson team who said, oh, like, careful of that, don't apply too much, it could be too sticky. I wonder if it's like the same as I experienced. It's the combination of putting everything together, like the leave-in heat protective cream spray, the oil, and then that all together. It can feel a bit much and a bit sticky, but I'm not getting sticky vibes so far from this bite on its own. So then all we've got left is this kind of little top section here, and all I'm going to do is work everything backwards away from the face. So we're going to aim to get that nice volume. Easier with these like shorter bits at the front if you also have like shorter bits of shaping or bangs cut in. And also just remember, if it's really the volume that you're after, so look how much volume I've managed to get into my hair, but it's really a case of pulling the hair forwards rather than straight up. If you think about it, if you pull the hair straight up, the hair is actually just on a straight angle, you're just pulling it straight. Whereas if from the root you're really like bending it forward, you're getting that curve around the brush, and really that's what you want, that kick back from the roots. And also let's just have a little look at our brush. I still don't think we've done really too bad at all with the hair front. I'd say there's probably like 10 hairs in there, and bear in mind these hairs aren't like hairs that are being pulled out from your scalp necessarily. I definitely didn't feel like any were being pulled out of my scalp. Most likely it's already hair that's shed from your scalp. It's already kind of left the scalp, and then they're just there left in your hair, kind of waiting to actually fall out of the hair. So don't worry when you see like hair in the brush, but really in terms of things, I really don't think that's probably 10 hairs. I'd say I really don't think that's bad. I would definitely recommend also every time after you've used this brush, every single time get all of the hair out of it, and also when it's off and when it's cooled down, just give it a clean if there is any product buildup. Obviously I don't have any product buildup at the moment, it still looks brand new because I've not really popped too much product in. If you do have some product buildup, obviously take the head off, wait for it to fully cool down, and then I usually like to use like a cotton wool bud, and even if it's got something like micellar water on, or even just warm water, give it a little clean in between the bristles. Obviously just be extremely careful. You don't want like the cotton bud to be wet at all, so it can actually drip inside, because obviously these brush heads have got some sort of mechanics in them, because then the air wrap can actually tell when it's on. So just be very careful. You don't want that cotton bud wet at all, just like a touch of water or product on there. You want to wait until the hair is fully cooled before you touch it, before you dress it out. Mine's cooled now because I've just been fiddling around with my camera battery and I've got nice clean hands. There's no product on. First of all, I do just want to go through and break it up and break it through with my fingers before I apply any product, just so I can kind of see the results and then judge it and see what I want to apply. Have a good play around with it, see exactly where it wants to fall, where it falls best. Because I've done everything going backwards on the top, it's gonna fall best going to one side or the other. Whereas if you do want to keep a center part in, it's best then you leave that front section and you'll style that side that way, that side that way. But yeah, hopefully you can see that on camera. My hair is so soft, it's got a lovely shine to it, it's definitely not sticky with product. And to be honest, the only thing I would probably apply now is a hairspray to kind of keep it in place, or maybe even texture spray just to give it like a little bit more oomph and volume. Let's do that. And I'm actually going to mix it up today. I'm going to use the Schwarzkopf Osis. This is the Volume Up Volume Booster Spray. And to be honest, I don't really use this one that much. It's just kind of at the back of my current texturizing spray. So let's give this one a whirl. So I'm just going to pick this up and pinch that. It's kind of like more hairspray-y in texture. So it's actually more like a volumizing hairspray than a texture spray. So there we go. I've just sprayed it where I want it to sit and fall. I've kind of pulled this bit out before spraying it just to give me a nice bit of width there and a bit more volume. And yeah, guys, that is the finished look. Let me know what you guys think. It definitely goes without saying, but I am very impressed with this brush. I'm so impressed with the new Dyson 2x Coanda. It definitely gives such a great tension on the hair, so it smooths the hair out, gives a lovely shine. I would just say, especially for novices, just be super careful. If you're doing that more volumizing wrap and then rolling it back down, be super careful, don't roll it all the way back down to the roots, because I really don't want it to get tangled in your hair. Because yeah, anything where a brush is a little bit smaller and it's got a lot more teeth, you run a slightly higher risk of getting it tangled in the hair. I absolutely love these kind of looks in my hair, so I think this is going to be a go-to tool for me on hair wash days when I want that salon blow dry look, but just easy and from the comfort of my own home. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like this video, if you learned anything new, I'd appreciate a thumbs up below, and please subscribe because I bring you videos like this every single week. If you do subscribe, I'll be seeing you next week for another one of my videos. Bye guys, have an amazing day.